Welcome back to Education Matters. Did you correctly answer true? According to salary data from DPI, average principal pay has declined more than 20% since 2007. Joining us now to continue our discussion on principal pay, we have Jason Griffin. Jason is the principal in Perquimans County. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Perquimans County. And he's also the 2017 North Carolina Principal of the Year. So thank you for being here and congratulations on that. And Katherine Joyce, friend of the show, a regular feature speaking on behalf of school administrators and leaders across the state. She is the executive director of the North Carolina Association of School Administrators. So welcome back, Katherine.
Thank you.
All right. Let's start with you, Katherine. Now, you've heard some criticisms of the new plan, including some that we just talked about in the first segment. Your group represents superintendents and sort of umbrella principals and sort of all school leaders. And I know you've said this is a good start overall, but when you hear things like 30% of principals in Wake or 25% statewide may actually lose pay in a pay raise plan, I mean, is that a good start, or sort of where are you right now?
Well, first of all, no one is losing pay. So there is the hold harmless in place, and I think we've got to give the General Assembly time to come in next year and extend that, which I fully believe they will do. I don't think that our General Assembly wants to disenfranchise principals in the state. They want to work to improve it. That's the plan. That was their focus this year. So the plan is not finished. Let's let them keep working to get it right.
So that's what you think at this point, yeah. And I think we, you know, just to be clear, when we talk about losing pay, what I mean is there is like I said, hold harmless. So if you are going down under the new plan, you won't this year. But this is a performance-based plan that, I mean, if the hold harmless is extended another year, I mean, it's not really a performance plan if there isn't a chance for, well, let's just call it winners and losers. I mean, there will be people that will go up or down each year, right?
There can be fluctuation in pay based on performance. If a school's student growth is not improving, growth targets are not met, the principal pay can dip. That's true.
Right. All right, Jason, you're a principal yourself, so you're affected by this. I'm interested in your take, both speaking for yourself, but as well as for your profession. I mean, I think that's, as the principal of the year, you have an opportunity, I know, to talk to your colleagues on a statewide basis. What are they telling you and what are you hearing?
So there's mixed reviews across the state in terms of the principal pay. You know, for, you know, the younger principals such as myself, you know, we do see a benefit from the principal pay plan. However, veteran principals, you know, are affected by longevity, years of experience, the number of classroom teachers, based off the previous plan. So, you know, I do feel that this plan is steps in the right direction. Right.
I mean, $35 million this year, another $5 next year, so it'll be 40, and that's recurring dollars. So, right. So that's not a small investment. I mean, so I think again, like as Katherine said, in fairness, that is a good investment in principals. But I guess, what do you think besides extending hold harmless? What are legislators telling you that they may be looking at changing either this coming, well, actually, literally next week when they come back, but also perhaps next year in the short session?
So there was a lot of discussion among legislators this year that they couldn't fix the entire problems surrounding principal pay in 1 year. It's got to be a phase-in. So I think next year you're going to see another investment in base pay for principals. I think that will address a lot of the hold harmless issues that have cropped up with veteran principals, and certainly adding an experience factor. That is something we are advocating for. You heard that in your previous segment. Right. Experience would be a great addition to this plan. Right.
Now, Jason, what do you think about the performance part of it? That's new. It's something that it's a priority for the General Assembly to have performance metrics. Do you, I guess overall as a philosophy, you know, sort of what are your thoughts? And then just the way it was crafted, tied to, which we don't have, this will be a whole other show to explain what EVOS system is and how you calculate growth. But what do you think about it overall?
Well, I think EVOS is a great measure in terms of looking at student growth from 1 year to the next. You know, having EVOS as a part of the principal pay plan, that's obviously a policy decision. I do believe that, you know, the school performance grades are important. But what I would like to see is, you know, more of a correlation between school performance grades and principal pay. So let me explain. So school performance grades are 80% achievement, 20% based off of growth.
Right.
Well, the principal pay plan is based off of your ADM and growth. I'd like to see the growth side of our school performance grade, weighed more, maybe 60-40 or even 70-30.
Right, and for viewers who don't, so what you're talking about, when we say growth, we're talking about sort of the improvement from year over year. And so you're saying that just like on the school performance grades, some of the same criticism is a level that it's too tied to standardized sort of end of grade tests. And so you would agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what about the idea of sort of how you're evaluated? Right, the way under the new plan, it's going to be based on two things: the size of the school and those scores. Do you think there should be other factors as part of how you want to be evaluated as a professional, as a principal?
Well, I do think years of experience are important. Veteran principals have paved the way for me to, be here, be a principal, continue on as principal of the year. So I look to veteran principals, for knowledge and ideas. So I think that should be considered. Longevity for all principals is different. For me as a younger principal, longevity may not hurt me as much, but our veteran principals and even some principals that don't have the local incentives, longevity may be all that they have. So I do think that we need to go back and look at longevity as well.
Katherine, what about the, with any kind of big legislative change like this, you said give them time. I mean, getting the process right is important. Do you think there maybe could have been more inputs in the sort of, it seems like some of these things ought to have been able to be figured out with the plan before it was passed. I mean, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts on how it was put together?
Well, certainly there were discussions with lots of advocates about what this plan would do and what it should entail. The General Assembly has ideas they want to pursue. I think our job, my organization's job, is to make sure we're advocating for the best interest of principals and making sure that students are well served. So we've got to work with the General Assembly to get this plan where it needs to go, that next step, phase 2, and we're looking forward to that in the short session.
Give you the last word, Jason. What do you think, what would you fix? I mean, do you think sort of if you could just wave a magic wand, what would you do?
Well, I think, based on the stats right now, we have somewhere between 70 and 80% of principals who are benefiting from the new principal pay plan. And I'm confident that the General Assembly is going to go back and address the technicalities that, are going to help us to, have a principal pay plan that's going to be more midway of the pack when compared to principals across the nation.
Excellent. Well, look, thank you both for being here. Big topic, and we'll be watching to see what happens with the legislature. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
After the break, this week's Leadership Spotlight.